Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. And in today's video, I will be doing the story idea writing tag. This tag was created by my good friends, Bethany Atazada and By the Brooke Passmore. And I was tagged to do this tag by very many people. So I'm like, I should probably do this tag. But I was tagged by Len Woolston, Maverick Moses, and Meg Latour. So I will link all of their channels down below so you can go check out their videos. They have a lot of good content as well. Thank you guys for tagging me, and I am finally doing this video. There are 10 questions, so let's get started. Question number 1, current story. What is your current story idea that you're working on right now? So as most of you know, I am working on The Celestial Code, which is a young adult urban fantasy about a 16-year-old girl named Lucci Baruvi who escapes her stepdad's verbal abuse by participating in a trial to become a powerful celestial being in a world beyond Pluto. Question number 2, spark of inspiration. Do your ideas begin with characters, plot, world building, or something else entirely? So this is pretty much consistent across the board. I come up with the characters first. Like, I love character-driven stories. I love coming up with characters, designing them, creating the character profiles. So that's always the thing that comes into my head first. But then pretty quickly after that, like the plot or something related to what is happening to that character comes into my head, because I usually just don't have a character. It's a little bit like a little bit of both, a little bit of the character and kind of what's going to happen in the story that they're in. So for The Celestial Code, I had actually doodled a drawing of Lucci while I was in a class in college, and the story kind of came from there. Question number 3, brainstorm. How do you puzzle piece your story elements together? Do you start with the ending and make your way to the beginning, or vice versa? So I'm usually pretty linear in my plotting unless my brain is like hyper and starts thinking of all these random things that I have to piece together. But usually I do start at the beginning, because since I usually start with a character, I think about, okay, well, what's gonna happen to this character? How do they get on this journey? So actually I probably come up with more so the middle of the story and the character, and then I have to piece together, well, how does this character get into this world? So pretty much it's me trying to figure out that inciting incident between the character's normal life and this kind of fantastical world that I've already come up with. Question number 4, keep or toss. How do you know when you want to keep or dump a story idea? So I do have a story ideas document. If you haven't seen my video on my writer hack on how to create a closet journal to keep track of all of your story ideas, I will link that down below so you can check that out. But that's how I pretty much organize all of my ideas. And so I usually don't like throw anything out. I have been very slow with working on one project at a time, that like there's just all of these story ideas in queue, and I don't know if they're going to, come of anything, if they're going to be a short story, if they're going to be enough to be a novel, if it's enough to be a series, I don't know. But I always just keep everything. As far as when I'm writing the story itself and I'm coming up with ideas, like if it's going to weave its way into the plot seamlessly and naturally, then I know to keep it. But if it's just something that I'm like, it's just, oh, this doesn't fit with the story or any of the characters, it just is kind of in the way, it might be something to be better for another novel, then I will just put that to the side for another day. Question number 5, original idea. How much of your original idea for your story is actually used once everything is finished? Ooh, I like this question. When I first came up with Lucci and started coming up with the whole story about this celestial world and how she gets involved in this world, it is kind of different from what it is now. There are some elements that are the same, but kind of like the direction that I wanted it to go and the ending is very different, because I didn't really know the meat of the story, the heart of the story, what exactly drove her into this inciting incident and how everything came about. Usually a lot of backstory I think of later, but there's a lot of backstory that is actually really important to the plot, and that will be revealed in future books in the series, and I wouldn't have come up with that otherwise. So I feel like it might be 50-50, I'm not quite sure. Question number 6, hide or share. Do you share your book ideas with friends or keep them a secret? I usually keep them a secret. If I'm excited about something, I'll tell my sister, but otherwise I just keep it to myself because, like I said, I'm not sure if anything would come out of these book ideas. Now, as far as when I'm like outlining a novel and coming up with ideas for it, I might, kind of bounce it off of my sister or something, but I usually don't share it with people because I just might dump the idea anyway. Question number 7, dream. Have any of your book ideas originated with a dream/nightmare? That's a good one too, and no, it has not, but lately, all of my dreams have been like based on real life. Like I'm at work, but I have like 5 patients at once, and usually I see 1 patient at a time. But yeah, so it's like, or like, we have this huge container of M&Ms, and I had a dream that like there was like a thin layer left, like it was practically gone, and we had just gotten it. So yeah, my brain's not really thinking of anything fantastical. It's like, it's pretty tired and it's just like, we're just gonna do real life things, all right? Question number 8, doppelganger. Have you ever had an idea for a story, but then see a similar premise in a book, TV show, movie? Yeah, I have. Well, when I was coming up with the Celestial Code and really getting into planning and outlining it, I did see a couple novels that kind of had a similar premise, and I freaked out. I was like, no, this is the book of my heart. Like, I came up with this idea on my own. I've never seen any other book like this. One of the books is traditionally published, and I read it and I'm like, oh good. It's completely different. This is good. I can use this as a comp title. And then another one I actually saw, I've seen 2 that some writers have come out with books that they kind of sound similar, or maybe the premise is slightly similar, but I know that my story is different. So I did like have like a freak out moment, but as far as like movies and TV shows, I haven't really had any comparisons, so that's been good. Whew. Question number 9, big screen inspiration. Have any of your favorite movie/TV shows sparked ideas for scenes in your book? So I'm pretty sure that they have. I can't think of anything specifically, but I know that I draw inspiration from a lot of things, from music, TV, movies, other books that I'm reading, just real life things that are happening to me or things that happen to other people I know. So I feel like probably there are elements, but I can't think of anything like offhand. And lastly, question number 10, nostalgia. What's the oldest/first story idea you remember coming up with or writing down? So this one's so cute. I think I have mentioned this in a video before, but this story, I think I started writing it when I was 5 or 6 years old, but it was a story about shapes, and I was big on drawing and writing at the same time, you guys. So I drew the circle, the triangle, the rectangle, and the square. And I remember them like walking down the street together, and I don't remember what happened, but yeah, that was my first story idea, was about shapes. So that's it for this tag. This was a lot of fun, so thank you Maverick, Len, and Meg for tagging me. And you know your girl's got some people to tag, so I am going to be tagging Savannah J Goins, Evie Driver, and ThePatchworkNerd. So I can't wait to hear your guys' answers. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have had any inspiration from movies or TV shows with your story ideas. I think that that's very interesting. And if you want to do this tag and I didn't tag you, please feel free to do it. I will see you guys next time. Bye.